That's funny. They want to see Hockemeyer.
Troy is funny.
They want to see you, Hockemeyer. They want to see you.
That is that.
You haven't been wearing your flashy ties. Or is it summertime?
Do you know what?
Casual?
I had on a multicolored bow tie earlier today, yes.
You should have worn it today.
And I got tired with it around my neck and I loosened it and one of the staff members said, that looks horrible. And I said, I'm tired of wearing it. I will try to do that.
Okay.
All right, well, I think we're live. So we're starting out with the budget hearing first.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll call to order the Town of Larwill, August 14th, 2025, 2026 budget public hearing. We have Roy Wolf, Troy Kiefer, and Jerry Utter, as well as Clerk Treasurer Renee Sills and Town Attorney Greg Hockemeyer. This is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube. So that means that we have to talk into a microphone. So if anyone has anything to say during the public hearing, the podium has a microphone, so we'll have you move there. Other than that, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. So the budget for 2026 for the Town of Larwill, and this is just the general funds, MBH, CCD, CCI. This does not include any sewer utilities. It's for $250,186. As I mentioned in previous meetings, I did increase some utilities for like the car insurance, the workman's comp. I also increased that, and then I also decreased some others. So the budget, like I said, for 2026 is $250,186.
Okay. Anybody in the audience wish to speak on this matter? Hearing no one, we'll just close the public hearing then on the budget. Moving on to our regular meeting, call to order the Town of Larwill regular meeting, the Town Council for August 14th, 2025. Present are all council members and Renee Sills, Clerk Treasurer, and Town Attorney Greg Hockemeyer. Did everyone have last month's minutes mailed to them? And do we have a motion to suspend the rules and the reading of those minutes?
I'll make a motion to suspend and approve those minutes.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So just do an omnibus motion and they're approved. Unfinished business, 105 West Main, the Hall property with I believe we have a lawsuit update.
Yes, we do. We actually have a judgment that says it's to be cleaned up. So we are now to the place where if that's not done, we would be looking at contempt action. I did a drive around of the two properties that were the subject of that. One is the large lot in the middle of town, and the other is 105. It appeared to me there had been progress. The large lot appears to mainly have equipment on it now, but I think I saw some poles or logs, so there were some different things out there. I guess what I would look for is guidance from the council as to where you want me to go with this next. If it's a situation where there are still violations, I'd like to hear from you exactly what they are so that I can set specific things to say this, and this need to be moved in a contempt warning letter, which those of you who worked with me before know I will send a contempt warning letter out and then argue that a contempt following that is knowing because we've told you exactly what we wanted you to take care of. So what is at this point with, I think there has been measured progress, and I'm going to use that term, because I'm not sure there's been a huge amount since in the last month.
Yeah.
There was a bunch before that. But I'd like to hear how you would like me to proceed.
Do we have a volunteer to inspect the property and then report back next month?
I'll do it.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Actually, he seems like he's kind of been moving a few more things back in.
Well, and that was one of my concerns. They also are in the midst of the property owner and the property occupant are in the midst of a dissolution of marriage action, and there have been certain agreements among those parties as to whose duty it is to do certain things. I think, Renee, this was what you and I went back and forth with a little bit, and I just want to clarify. The town is not a party to the dissolution action. So if one party in the dissolution is charged in the dissolution action with cleaning it up, it doesn't change the fact that both are defendants in our action. And the party that doesn't have that duty, if they would reach out or contact any one of you, or if they contact my office, what I will tell them is we will enforce that against everybody, and that if you are aggrieved because the person in the dissolution action isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, then it's on you to file a contempt in that action to compel them to move forward. So I will try to be as sensitive as possible to that situation, but at the same time, that's how that would apply. We are not a party to the dissolution. We're not bound by those orders. In the dissolution, we didn't receive an opportunity to participate. We don't want to. So it'd be a little bit like if you were getting divorced and one party in the dissolution was ordered to pay a car loan, but both parties' names were on the loan obligation, the creditor's still going to go after both parties.
Well, the house is, last month, we said that they needed to cut down the weeds, which they never did, so the house is completely surrounded by weeds. And the building itself, he was trying to keep it cleaned up between you guys, but it's completely overgrown. And the back, I mean, there's huge trees growing up, so nobody is trying to do anything as far as maintaining the yard and the weeds and the trees around that's growing up everywhere. So, did you want to say something?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen him one time cut come by and cut the whole side, and I have not even seen him the whole summer
Yeah.
come by and do anything with anything, that stuff that's back there. That one tractor trailer is still back there. He hasn't even gotten anything out of that back lot at all this whole summertime. I haven't
Yeah.
seen him maybe one time do anything in that property. And like you said, I went down my daughter-in-law and cut down the front of their house, all that stuff, and I walked by the front of theirs, and I'm like, you can't even see the front of their house.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, you can't even see the front of their house.
Yeah, so we gave them a warning last
Well,
month.
And the judgment is about trash and debris. We could certainly
Add,
try to add in, but it wouldn't, this specifically, he's talking about junk, trash, and debris, and wouldn't talk about weeds at that
Yeah.
point. So, but I do know that has been a problem on and off. Yes.
We only sent a letter about 105. We did not send a letter about the house. The only type of letter was sent from the town was about the property of 105. So I have to send a letter about the house.
okay, I guess I didn't make that clear that
No.
it was the house I was talking about last month, because, yeah, it's.
Yeah, 105 and the lot are the only parties to the
Yeah.
lawsuit. The house is, the residence, I don't believe is.
Exactly.
Right, yes, okay.
Okay.
But it can be.
Yep, all righty.
Okay, anything else on that matter? Next item on the agenda, 2575 grant for Hammondtree Street. Do we have an update on that?
Yes, so, Niplock, the contractor, is expected to be on site this next Monday, August 18th, and they're planning on having new storm structures delivered and starting construction then that day. So they sent us a schedule, and it basically says that they'll start Monday, August 18th, and their plan is to finish all construction by September 16th. So they're expecting about a month of construction work, again, weather permitting, so there could possibly be some delays due to weather, but they're shooting for September 16th as finishing construction.
Okay. Any questions?
Does the council have a copy of this schedule? I brought a few extra if you guys.
You
I
can,
didn't
if you
see one.
just give me one, I can give them a copy.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, did you state your name?
Oh, no. Francisco Perez, staff engineer with Abermarsh Consultants.
All right, very good, thank you. So I noticed on the agenda, under the new business, we have a discussion of garbage recycling pickup during the street fair. Would this be a good time to discuss that while he's here, just in case there are any questions?
Thank you. So I contacted Sweetheimers and Willie County Solid Waste on picking up the recycling during this time period. Excuse me, and you guys all have a map? And all of the residents that this affects has received a copy of this map and notice of this. Excuse me. I also have it posted out here on the door, the town hall, and there are copies out here also. So, what we're basically doing is to eliminate any garbage trucks going down Hammondtree Street altogether. We have moved the pickup spots to the backside on the alley for 4 residents. Some go off on Center Street and then McAllen Street to make it easier access for the arm of the garbage truck. All four properties, well, excuse me, 3 properties have to put their cans on the same side so they can pick them up. And then 2 properties are putting them on King Street, and then the other ones are using the little alleyway off of the gas station. So, I haven't heard anything from any residents, so I sent this to all of them, so they've all been notified. So, and Sweetheimers was okay with this plan, and so was the solid waste recycling was also okay with it too.
Okay, very good. Any comment or questions on that?
No?
List of unsafe buildings?
I'm still working on that. I did get the information, like I told you guys last month, from Brett Dar. I'm still working on that, so.
And by, you mean 102 East Main?
Yes.
Historic designation?
Is that up for tax sale again?
They got the list out yet?
Yeah, it came out earlier this week.
Oh, I'll need to look.
Okay, because
I was wondering.
there were several with that particular owner
Okay.
that are on it, but that's true
Let's tax out.
every year.
October.
It's in October.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll have to look. So hopefully I have more information, because it's pretty time consuming.
Okay, Larwill YouTube channel to organize and store meetings. We currently do have a channel. This is our 3rd meeting video that will be up. Are there any questions, concerns about that?
No, I think it's pretty neat, and you were able to, with that remote, just have the camera move over to the podium?
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks pretty good.
IT guy.
Yeah. So, is this just on the agenda then for a report, or?
Yeah, at last month's meeting, we talked about getting, our own, like, address, so that it would store the meetings, and it'd be more organized, but if it will store it, then that's okay then. Because we only have to keep them for 90 days,
Oh, okay.
so that's all that's required.
Norman Marciecto, unsafe building update.
So I sent them a letter earlier in August asking them to come to this meeting tonight to give council an update on the progress of their unsafe building.
Since they're not here, I think the next suggestion would be to reach out to Craig Wagner and see if we need to, see if our options are any better than they have been in the past. I don't know that we have a lot of good ones.
I don't know.
Okay,
Nope. So I don't know where else to go from there, other than to check with Craig again and see if he could do a check at the site, maybe give an update and see if there is progress.
Okay, I'll do it.
yeah, I think it's probably the best option.
Yeah.
We've got enough going on at this point. Any other thoughts?
No.
Nope. It's one of those tough nuts
Yeah.
to crack.
That's yeah.
Quotes for siding of town hall.
Well, we need 3 quotes. I met with 3 contractors. One of the contractors got a hold of me like yesterday or the day before to say that they didn't think they had a good enough crew to be able to do the job. And what we're asking is for, in order to have something to screw the siding to, they have to put boards. And so I wanted it insulated in between. So 2 of the contractors are gonna cut 2x4s in half so they can put more insulation, and then they'll put the siding on and do the whole backside and wrap the fascia and soffit. There's hardly any on the back. Part of it is, there's a board that goes along the back the gutter is attached to, and it is like completely rotted. So that has to be replaced, and then they'll do a wrap around the garage part, has a fascia and soffit. But then, yeah, so I'm going to have to call somebody else and get a 3rd quote. So I guess we're gonna have to table that till the next meeting. And then the person that I wanted to come and fix the tower is having one of their kids get married this month. So he said he is so busy. I said, well, after the wedding, if we could meet, basically this leg over here towards the building is completely rotted, and the cross pieces are just flopping. So that tower needs some welding done to it, and hopefully I know he has a portable welding because they came to our house and fixed some stuff for us. So once I get him there, I'll see what he thinks, and hopefully he can just weld some angle iron onto the leg and fix the cross pieces, and we'll be ready to go. But right now, it's kind of, I'm surprised it hasn't gone down because there's not a whole lot holding it up.
Well, does it pose a immediate safety concern?
No, because, I mean, we've had some really strong storms, and it's held it. I think because the other 3 outside legs are sturdy, is kind of making up for the one that's towards the building. So it's managing right now, and it's been up there. How long has it been there, Renee? Like forever?
Yeah. Since I've been here, it's been the same one.
Yeah, so hopefully by the end of this month, I can get him there and he can let us know how much it would cost to fix it. Probably shouldn't be too much, so.
Okay. Well, as long as it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna fall and,
I've shaken on it. Chad came over to look at the gutter and we both shook on it and it's like, no, I think for now it's because the other three are pretty good. That should hopefully last one more month.
And I don't want to volunteer too much, but if it's a problem with getting a welder, we might also be able to check at the Career Academy,
Oh,
because I understand that they offer
well,
welding certifications, and this would be a real close, practical thing for them to do.
Yeah.
So I don't have a connection with the Career
Yeah.
Academy, but
well, if he can't do it, I'll give him a
Okay.
call and see if they can have one of their students come over and check it out. Okay, alrighty.
okay, moving on to other new business, budget adoption for the 2026 budget is,
Yeah. That'll be September 11th, 2025.
Okay.
So,
and we'll be accepting, accepting public comment through letters, I assume. There won't be a public hearing
no.
then.
it is not a public hearing. The public hearing was today.
Yep.
So that is just for the council to decide if they want to adopt or not.
Okay. Ordinance to establish Indiana Code 36-5-4-12 electronic payment.
Okay, well, and on that, basic, I will do that, but I'm looking at the agenda, there was some, I think, a tornado siren.
Oh, I
on
saw.
there. If you want to do that first, or?
No, yeah, I saw tornado tower structure issues, and I thought we covered that. But
Okay.
if there's another issue, yeah, let's cover tornado siren upgrade.
Wow.
Okay, so do you want to go ahead, Kim? Yes, you do.
Yes, you have
All right,
to.
well,
You can take it back to your seat if you like. but,
So I am the trustee, can you hear me? Okay. Ed Scott reached out, I actually reached out to emergency management. I was at a meeting, and it was brought to my attention then that there's a problem with this tower and siren.
Yeah.
So I went back and I took pictures of it, and it looks like a piece of a T-post holding it up. It's not good. It looks like it belongs on an episode of Petticoat Junction.
Yeah.
It's been there a long time. So it's not simple to replace the tower because the siren itself isn't going to sit on a telephone pole from RMC.
Right.
So I got with Ed, and it's the township's responsibility. So the ultimate goal is to have a siren that you can hear down by the fire department and all through here. You cannot hear it down there if you're outside at all. And it should be able to be activated by dispatch. So it would be, right now as it stands, they have to come in here with a key and they have to flip a switch to turn it on. And they are hesitant to turn it on because of the condition of the tower. So it's all the way around not a good situation. I reached out to 80/20 and asked for the possibility of a donation for metal for a tower or some kind of help there, and I was told no. I reached out to the USDA office to see if there was any type of grant money, and I was told not now with the budget cuts and that kind of thing that were going on. So I went ahead, and we are not the only ones in the county that need a siren and a new situation. So Ed gave me some names, which I know he gave those to Renee, of different people to provide them. I have a meeting next week with AMK, which provided radios to the fire station, and they also, Ed will be there with me next Tuesday at 1:30 at the fire department to assess the needs of where, what we need, how much is it going to be, just the basics. And Ed also brought to our attention, the whole county, that there may be a potential for a grant coming. So we're going to have to keep our eye on it and wait to see how things play out, but there may be an opportunity coming. But I have already started moving forward with trying to get that problem back there taken care of one way or another. It's, may not be fast, but I am moving forward on it.
To get a
So,
new tower, maybe?
The whole thing, all of it.
That would be great, because, yeah,
Yes.
it is pretty.
The end goal is all of
Yeah.
it. It needs to be replaced.
Yes, it does.
But at the fire station.
I don't know. That's
Oh.
what they're gonna come on. Ed Scott's gonna be here on Tuesday with me. Where they're gonna take a look around and see where would the best location be. Because if you can't hear it and you're outside and you can't hear it, I don't know who else can hear it or where, but I know I sure can. I can hear Pierceton, but I don't hear ours. If the wind's going right, I can hear
I
Pierceton.
hear ours.
Can you?
Yeah.
I sure can't, so it's
can't.
just, it's gonna be, and I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. I knew I was worried about it, but I didn't know you guys were worried separately, so I
Yes.
guess we'll just worry together.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at as far as township taking care of it.
Okay.
When you talk to them, could you get information on the range?
Yeah, definitely.
Because if we have to do some fundraising or something like that, it would be good to know who's going to benefit from it.
Right, and how far? I mean, you've got up north, sure they can't hear it. Positive of it, so yeah, we need to make sure when we get it done, we do it right. So,
Okay. We have a comment behind you there. Pass the microphone back. And you can
Hi.
state your name, introduce
My name is Ed
yourself.
Scott. I am the newer director of Woodley County Emergency Management. I was appointed back in April. First and foremost, as I told Renee, one of my goals since I became director is try to get into each of the different towns and areas because I believe, as I said, when someone says Woodley County, they think Columbia City. Columbia City is a third of our population, however, there are many other great places in our community that I'd like to make sure I'm at least known in. So when we were talking with Renee, she gave me the schedule. I'm like, hey, I'll be there Thursday, just that way at least get a face. So that way we know each other today when it's good, and hopefully we never have to meet when it's bad, but if we do, you at least know who or what is expected. So one thing I can say on that, earlier this year, we were working with the trustee for Cleveland Township and did some research, dived into trying to find exactly that. The manufacturers, because of liability, will not put a number on the range because there are so much variables within that answer. Height, structures in the way, the temperature and the wind, and everything that has to deal with the weather at the time. Approximately, the newer technology now, they say, they're comfortable saying it's approximately a mile. That was a number that I got, and that was all I got, but it wasn't solid. So depending on how you would lay it out, I mean, a good idea would be to have one on the north side, one on the south side, or one east and west, so that way you're getting an overlap in the city where you have your concentrated population, but also those that are outside the city limits around the edge of it will get some of that also. That would be my suggestion, but as for an actual solid number, good luck with that one, I tried. So hopefully we can get some more information come Tuesday, I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, Tuesday.
And the good thing about doing something like that is you got to worry about property. So if we're going to put in a new one that has a telephone pole that's 20 feet in the air, you want to make sure you're not dealing with any private property or any agreements with somebody that may come back later down the road. So you'll need to look at what you may own as a city or as a township for those locations. Any other questions?
Other than the tornado siren, anything we need to be looking at now? Anything you see coming down the pike? Any issues we
So,
want to address?
I always make sure to emphasize outdoor early warning sirens and not tornadoes because it can be used for more than that.
Okay.
And it also
Fair enough.
emphasizes on the outdoor. The number one complaint we always get every time we test them the first and third Monday in Columbia City is I didn't hear it. Well, where were you? I was inside my house. It's not made for that. It's made for you to go inside. So I will say the quotes that we've seen earlier this year are ranging between $25,000 to $35,000 for a brand new all set.
And that excludes the tower, right? That
I
excludes.
believe so. That was one part that I didn't look deep into, and I
I'm
know
sorry,
that those numbers coincided with Columbia City just had it replaced too, and I believe they were in that range as well. So, and they are just replacing, they already have their tower or telephone poles set, so I would imagine that would be also on that. That would, I believe on the higher end of that 30-35 is where it was somebody that had one that was gonna be put in a new pole, I believe. So one of the things that we want to look at is being able to not only activate it remotely, but maybe a central location, you know. For instance, if we can get the county dispatch to assist with that, that would be really good because they're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't have that delay of coming into town, turning a key, hoping it don't fall over when you push the button, as currently. But at the same time, there are also, like some of the others, they can do it from the fire station. So a fireman can get out of his bed, reach, grab a radio, push some buttons and set it off also. So if that is option with a dispatch is not possible in the beginning, that option would also be available. So there's some avenues there. And then you may have some resistance because someone doesn't hear it inside their kitchen. I mean, expect that. That would be the biggest thing. I would see is that you guys spend all this money to do this, or, you know, but now I can't hear it when I'm in my watching TV. So that would be my biggest concern that I would say you have to prepare for. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, good information. A couple of years ago, probably the biggest public emergency we've had since I've been here. A couple of years ago, we had a power failure for the whole town, and we were out of power for 2 days, almost 2 days. And that means no one had water because everybody's on well. It was amazingly hot. No one had AC. And it would have been nice to have, at that point, some support from the county. And because of our lift station, we reached out to the county and we said, no, we don't have any resources available. And so it's good to know that you're there, and if we...
And actually, that lift station's on my to-do list. Another topic that we'll be reaching out here soon is we're going to be updating the county multi-hazard mitigation plan. And part of that, it's done every 5 years. And when you go through that process of updating, you look at what's on your last one, like what's the progress or what's the status or what's new. And I have a sticky note from the last director about that lift station needs a generator. And I don't know if that's been done yet, but that was one thing I was supposed to be checking on. And if that's not, then that needs to go on our list for that exact reason. It could have been water that generated from of, hey, we need to look at that. So by putting that kind of stuff in our plan, that allows us to use that as a foundation when we're looking for grant money and stuff like that and funding towards that. If it's not there, they'd be like, well, you're just saying you need that. Well, no, we identified this in our multi-hazard mitigation plan. So we'll be reaching out shortly as soon as I get back from the vendors.
Great. I know it's not much, but it does feel good that at least we made a sticky note. Thank you. Anything else on that issue? All right. So now, ordinance to establish IC 36-5-4-12. Electronic payment.
I think this is the one Renee reached out to me about, and I think it's a good idea, but we're not the deciders, you guys are. What has happened sometimes in the past is if we happen to lack a quorum for a meeting, we are sometimes a little slow in getting claims pre-approved, which they are supposed to be, unless we have an ordinance that authorizes the clerk to pay bills ahead of time. Also, even in the regular course of things, Renee, you correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes in the regular course of things, the meeting will adjourn, and then 2 days later, she gets a bill that's due before the next meeting. So, you guys can pre-authorize her to advance those payments. You would still need to ratify them at the following meeting. But it would allow her to be able to cut those checks, and if they fell in between, or if we didn't have a quorum, if there was a problem, they have to come up eventually before the council to be approved and be ratified. But we would need to adopt an ordinance to that. It hopefully wouldn't be complicated. She sent me one she had gotten from another municipality that looks pretty good. I would want to check the sites, but I would not have to be working from scratch on that, if that's something you're interested in. Both of us think that's a good idea, but again, you are the folks in charge.
I think it's a good idea.
So do I.
Does the statute have any limits on that?
I think it
Yes,
does.
it does.
It's got several
Yes.
in terms of
It can
that,
only be for like,
certain
certain
liabilities.
services like insurance, there's certain things, so it does lay that out, yes. There
I'll,
will-
is it okay if I go ahead and prep that up? And as I
Yes.
said, she's already sent me a template, basically, from another municipality. I won't take their word for it being applicable, so I'll double check the sites and things, but I will have that at the next meeting then. Thank you.
That does sound like a good thing.
Yes, definitely.
PayGov request to set up website, credit card, debt utility payments,
Okay.
or debit utility
So you
payments.
guys got this little packet here? So this is PayGov. The gentleman will come and he will set it up on the town's website. It does not cost the town anything to set this up. And they'll also bring equipment here, like a scanner for people to be able to scan their debit cards or credit cards. There is a customer pay fee of 3% that gets charged back to the customer. And there's also, throughout the packet I gave you guys, I just highlighted some things that are good about it. They go on the website, they can pay their bill 24, any time of the day, they can go on and they can pay it. The town will get a receipt for it and everything, and they keep records. They never get rid of any of their records, so they'll always have records, and so will the town. They'll come, and like I said, and they have the software and the training, and they'll install it and give me some training, so, it's one of the things that we were trying to move Larwill to, was to have, a way for people to pay their bill semi-online. And a lot of other government agencies use the PayGov. You can use other ones, like Invoice Cloud, but they're going to charge you, and it costs, and this here does not. So I do have the agreement that the gentleman sent to me, and
This
So-
does charge you that 3%.
Yeah, it does.
And we already have an ordinance. Ordinance number 80 has always been established for the method of payments, and it all covers cash, debit, credit card, money order, checks, and electronic transfers. So we're already covered on that part of the requirements.
My quick review of the agreement, I do not have, I don't see any concerns it's raised.
Can you state that
It's
and check off?
I use that, it's very user-friendly, you would not be disappointed with it, it's really a nice slip at the city of Warsaw, they use that.
Okay.
And this says month to month. One of my concerns is sometimes getting caught in a long term obligation if we didn't like it. There's an indemnification provision that we don't get in the middle of any disputes over chargebacks. Did you?
I don't think we got a copy of that.
No, I did not.
So, and I think the clerk's office at least used to use this as well, up at Willie County, yeah, courthouse, I think. And so I can look that over more thoroughly if you want. It's not a long
No.
agreement.
The term was my main concern as well. We didn't want to get locked into something.
Now, it automatically extends for additional 1 month term at the end of each month. Okay, but it looks like presumably you would also be able to give notice to get out of it in a month, so.
Yeah.
That's almost always my concern. How long are we obligated? And again, it appears to be subject to the laws of the state of Indiana. Sometimes we have arbitration clauses that take us down to Atlanta, or crazy things like that. I didn't see any of the red flags that I usually look for.
So you said they would be connecting via our internet?
Yeah, they would use, there'd be equipment here, and I'd be able to, people come in, want to make a payment, I'd be able to scan their card. I think you can pay over the phone, but we're gonna have it put right on the town's website, So they can go right to the website and pay it that way, too.
Well, it has to be a big benefit for you because you're not
Yeah, well, and I also think it's very convenient for people, because I've had a lot of people come in and ask, do you accept credit cards? And I say no, because I have no way of accepting it. So, I mean, I think it'd be a good tool for the residents of Larwill to be able to pay their sewer bill
So you only take cash or check?
or money order.
Or money,
Mhm.
okay.
Or if they have it set up, you know, where it's an ACH where I get a check from a bank, yeah, so. And if you go and set it up like those kind of ways, the bank's gonna charge you and all that kind of stuff. So this here is a way that the town doesn't pay anything, but the person that's using the service is going to get charged 3%.
How many people under the age of 30 or 40 know how to write a check?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Truth? Truth?
So,
Every time I get my checkbook out, I feel it ages me.
so what are you specifically asking for tonight then?
if you guys wanna look over the contract, that's fine. You know, I have everything ready. I mean, it is not, we're not set in stone. I just, you guys wanna say, yay, let's go, then we'll go with it. But if you wanna have Hockemeyer look over the contract a little more thoroughly, then we can do that. So however you guys wanna proceed.
This is just a different option to pay. That's all it is, right? Just a different option to pay.
And if it is horrible, we can get out of it. It was what Troy and I were looking at. It's the first thing to look at in most contracts, is how bad is it to get back out of it? And this does not appear to be bad.
So how comfortable are you with the contract? Do you feel like you need some time to look at it? Or-
No, it's not voluminous at all. Yeah, a month-to-month council, 30 days notice doesn't even require cause. So if it's a train wreck, it frankly only requires us to sort of accommodate them coming in and putting the equipment in and putting the link on, but there's really no money out or financial obligation for us at all.
No, nope.
So,
Does it happen to say anything about that the terms of use of the internet? It may be buried in there.
I didn't see anything about the term, let me see. Emergency services, awarded payments, responsible agency not responsible for any compensation, federal taxes, agency agreed confidential information. This is actually the indemnification clause to indemnify us, the agency.
You know, you're just trying to think outside the box. If there's an angle to it that we're not seeing, and I was just thinking, what if they came in and set up a server to farm Bitcoin or something? Does that prohibit that? Now, I'm not looking for something, and I know we have 30 days to get out, but that was just one of the things that came to my mind. Use our internet connection and power.
Well, I don't see that specifically noted.
I'm sure it's unlikely.
Well, I think it's unlikely, and did you say Warsaw uses this as well
I use it in the building and planning department all the time
in Warsaw?
for city, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know, if this is brand new for you guys, she's saying we can think about it, or however, I didn't see any red flags, but technically, like all contract things, it does depend a little bit on who's on the other side of it, and term, and then if you have,
And when people had to have refunds, we had no problem either. So that happens sometimes. It was no problem.
All right, what's the will of the council?
We should do it.
If we can get out of these, it's worth a try.
Absolutely.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the PayGov contract as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And they didn't say who they want to sign this, but since you guys are here,
There's a line for each of us, I guess.
I think we could probably do it there and date that, and this looks like there and to date that. That way we don't have to worry about adding authorization to the clerk to, but we will want to keep a copy of the contract.
Gonna make the lines a little
Once it
lighter.
gets,
Yeah.
once it
I
gets
always try to do
signed
that.
Oh, yes.
by then. Tiny signatures. Oh, you already talked about that.
All right, very good. Council concerns with property violations such as high grass, junk cars, and rubbish. Any concerns?
No.
Currently? Other than what we've already talked about?
They got that tree cleaned up?
Most of it, not all of it.
Getting there. It's getting close. So, yeah.
I think it's pretty much gone.
Okay. Does anybody in the audience have anything they would like to add for the good of the order?
Updates on the post office?
Updates on the post office, the real estate manager, I'm not sure what her title is, has been in contact and they're exploring a couple of sites. They've asked for some contact information. So it's still moving. We'll just have to wait and see what they can work out. They did ask for, we have a couple of properties, and they did request terms if we wanted to offer those up. So we'll need to talk about that probably next month. And that's probably something we can have an executive session on, isn't it?
Real estate, I believe we could.
Yeah, since we have a legitimate interested
Mhm.
party, it's not like
Mhm.
we're just doing it on spec. So we can talk about that before next meeting. Talk about having an executive session before next meeting. Other than that, that's all I know. Okay. Financial report.
Oh, I have one thing.
Ah,
So, we all need to complete our internal control training. I will send you guys some information. You can watch it on YouTube, and there's just once you get done, there's a certificate, which I have, and it just, during the audit, they talk about internal controls from the State Board of Accounts, so you guys have to do your training for that, so, like I said, I will email you guys the YouTube channel that you watch, and a copy of the certificate you need to fill out. It just wants to know how long you watched it and stuff, so when you get completed, then just turn in your certificate back to me.
Is it very long?
No, it's like hours now. It's not that long. No,
Just like
it
around the
probably,
back.
maybe an hour. But you can watch it and then go back, you don't have to sit and watch it all at once.
Go back and watch it more than once.
You can, you can. Be an overachiever there.
Don't forget, Larwill's Wine Club is having the benefit of Cody's Studebaker on the 14th September.
What was that?
Larwill's
Here's
Wine
your-
Club is having the benefit for Cody's Studebaker September 14th. He lost his leg in a drunk driving, on his motorcycle.
12 to 4.
What-
12 to 4, yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, maybe I missed it, but what is it?
We're having food, sloppy joes,
Okay.
hot dogs, coney dogs, sides, potato chips,
Car show.
car show
Oh.
possibly, silent auction. They're trying to help him pay for his leg, his prosthetic. And I know he's gonna have to have two, so we're trying to get through leg one, so
What day was this?
Sunday, September 14th.
September 14th.
Yeah.
What time?
Starts
12.
at 12, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, talking over you.
What time was it? Noon to
12 to
Noon.
4,
12 to 4.
down at the community
what
center
day?
fire station.
Oh, write a check.
We'll take your check.
Don't take anything.
Okay, anything else before financial report? Okay.
All right, the bank balance as of 7/31/2025 is $879,096.92. The deposits for the month of July were $15,490.42. The registered claims for August are $15,276.67. Everything is as it usually is. When you get down here, you'll start to see the LM Financial. So I did get a weed cutter with attachments, and the maintenance guy said it is working out very well. So he's enjoying it, and I didn't spend $380.63. You returned some of those items, so they took some stuff off, and then I also getting prepared for winter. We mark out along the lift station to the ball diamond. We mark it with orange stakes so that we know where to plow. I got some of those. I also got some more green flags to mark sewer lines, and I also purchased some green spray paint because it was cheaper buying it by bulk than buying it can by can. So I did purchase some of that. So with the items you returned, and with that, it's $380.63. Also down here for Roto-Rooter, it's $4,859.40. So they came and did their yearly air release valve maintenance. They did that. And then also too, they were called twice to the lift station out at Elman 700. The floats were stuck. And so they came one day, and then the alarm went off the next day, so I called them back out again, and they replaced the floats altogether. And then also, they came out another day because the bracket in the float, the bracket in the station down at Ellen 700 is rotting and broke, so they came and fixed that. So we got all of that fixed. And that was $4,859.40 for a total of $15,276.67.
All right. Have a motion on the financial report?
I make a motion to accept the financial report.
Second it.
Have a motion and a second to accept the financial report as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Right. Anything else for our business tonight?
I think so.
Okay. We are adjourned.
You were getting a little too amused by me trying to track down that lid of that pen.
I know, I get amused by you.
And
You do sometimes amuse me.
Troy is amusing me sometimes, too.
I know. We